Hi everyone, welcome back to Survivors with Rhythm. This is Brianna. I wanted to reach out and explain why no one has heard from me for a few months and why I haven't been putting any energy toward my projects. Basically, I have really been wanting to change, feeling left out in the cold and feeling like my life had no warmth to it. And I realized a lot of different behaviors over the past year or two that I was doing, negative habits, negative thought patterns, people that I was keeping in my life that I shouldn't. And I decided to make difficult choices to change all of these things. And I've spent the past year cutting out different things, cutting out different people, and making a lot of physical changes as well. So I had recently, a few months ago, gone back to working full time, and this is why I largely have not had energy to put towards my projects. But I also wanted to share with you guys a lot of the changes that I've made because I know that a lot of you are suffering in the cold as I was for many years, and I want to let you know that it is possible to get yourself out of feeling that way. And I want to give you some advice that I learned the hard way that I could share with you so you can make these changes and feel supported in doing so. Hi, so the first thing that I would say was making my life feel cold and having the strongest impact was the fact that I had kept, honestly, I had very few people in my life, but the people that I had kept in my life so far weren't able to understand or connect with me regarding these traumas. And as you know, we don't ask for these to happen and we don't want them to, but we've suffered them and they've become a part of us and we can't get rid of them and they change us. So it's really hard to have people, relatives, friends, romantic interests not be willing to at least try to connect to you or understand what you're going through or why you are the way you are. Ultimately, even if you've done all of the healing and you think you're 100% healthy, these traumas build a new you. And I feel that we become stronger because of these battles that we fought, but people around us don't really understand and aren't really willing to because, sexual assault and abuse and domestic violence are all topics that are taboo and things that people don't want to discuss. And this is a large part of my life that I've been suffering with, and a large impact in mine have been my relatives. All of my relatives have loved to tell me that I was at fault for these assaults, that I flirted with guys, or that I went around in my underwear all the time, or that I flirted in elevators, and all of these outrageous things. I don't even know where they came up with these kind of things. But basically, telling someone that you're supposed to love or you're supposed to be kind to and treat like family, that they're being assaulted and victimized was their fault, there isn't an excuse that can justify that. And I want to let you know that if your relatives or your friends or anyone in your life is treating you this way, this is not okay. You do not have to accept this behavior. Like, I had friends in my life as well who were treating me poorly and weren't willing to really take into account my own emotions and what I was dealing with because of these traumas. And with my relatives doing that as well, it just made my world so cold that I just gave up on people. And I've largely just spent the past few years or several years just keeping people at a distance. And I've done everything myself. And I understand if you're also suffering this, because this is common as a result of traumas and is unfortunate that it is. But what I came to realize was that, I don't want to live in the cold. I never did, and it's not for me. And I was never happy or content. So I've made the difficult choice to cut all of these people out of my life in the past few months. So this is why like I said, I've been dealing with a lot of grief and a lot of heartbreak, because when I keep people close to me, I fully invest on a heart level. and through my heart space. And so I give a lot of myself into these connections, and it really broke my heart and really took a toll on me to have to walk away. And it wasn't easy. It was really hard for me to do, and I suffered so much. Yes, I totally hit that ice cream stereotype that you see in movies and TV. But I knew all along, that I was doing the right thing. And the pain was definitely worth it for me, because now I feel so much better. Like, I feel so much more freedom. And I still have a couple people left in my life that are, close to me on an emotional level. And I really appreciate and have much gratitude for those that are still in my life. But I feel so much better not to have the others in my life, and I feel like a weight's been lifted. But it did take some dealing with a lot of heartbreak and grief because of that. Not only because I had to let go of these people, but also because I had to let go of all of myself that was invested in these relationships. And it was years or my entire life with my relatives. And it's been hard these past few months. And I've kind of had to withdraw from everyone else in my life and spend a lot of time alone in order to deal with this and to process and to overcome that. So this was the largest impact on why my life felt so cold. But I'm not naive enough to think that this is the only reason. I know that I kind of adopted some bad negative habits as a result of these traumas. So like I mentioned previously, I had began to distance myself from people, and this was probably around 10 years ago that I started just not letting anyone near me at all, because I couldn't trust people, and I could discern that these people just were not able to connect with me emotionally, and I got to where I preferred to be alone, and I chose to be alone. And then I got kind of knocked off that horse a couple years ago, but I have been working to get over this negative habit, and I'm glad to say that I finally have, and I am so eternally grateful for all of the work that I've done. And the biggest problem with keeping people at a distance is you're not only keeping out all of the people that would or could have treated you badly, you're also keeping out other people that would be good influences in your life, or people that you would love to have in your life, or that you do love, or that you enjoy, because you give off that impression to these people, and it could cause them to run away, or think that you feel that same way about them. And I realize that this negative behavior, although it has been protecting me from experiencing more traumas or dealing with all of these people, it also has a negative side of keeping away the people that I want close. And I have been working really hard for the past year or so to overcome that and let it go, because there are people that I want close to me. And I do love the idea of having new people come into my life soon. And I decided to make space for these people by letting go of this habit, and also all of the other people that were making my life feel so cold. I also want to say that, it's not easy. I know it's not easy, and I know that you're going to carry a lot of heartbreak and a lot of pain at first to walk away from these people. And, you're not alone. I suffered so much. I have been in such heartbreak, grief, depression, like an internal winter. And I am finally coming out of that, ironically, in spring. It's funny. But I wanted to share with you something that I have moved into. Because if you let go of one habit, you need to move into something that serves you. And so I have been stepping into, if you know tarot, the Queen of Swords is very known for keeping people at a distance and cutting them away, often depicted as the Ice Queen, which is a lot of how I have personally been the past decade or so. And I knew or learned that I had to move more into my Wand's energy, my fiery energy. So protecting myself with my voice rather than just keeping people away because it just blocks out so many positive opportunities as well. And I want to invite in change. So I made this choice, and no, it's not easy. It's saying goodbye to yourself that you've lived and known for so long, and stepping into uncertainty and someone that you've never been. And I'm excited, honestly, about it, but I have learned slowly to develop my voice as a way of protecting myself and being assertive. And I want to explain to you that, that this may be my answer, but not necessarily yours. So I want to give you the chance to explain that you can find out what you want to be, who you want to be, after you let go of whatever negative habits that you have taken on to protect yourself. Like, I chose fiery because that is the exact opposite of my own energy, and I want to incorporate and be whole. In order to do that, I knew that this was the best way to protect myself and to achieve anything that I want in life. So when I experienced my traumas, what I did is I went within myself and I pulled away from people and distanced myself. But most people, when they experience trauma, actually move towards surrounding themselves with people and feel safe only when they are with other people and feel protected. But ultimately, what this is doing is this is kind of depleting your boundaries. It's making you have none and make you unable to see other people's actions towards you or perceive them correctly because you only care about having people in your company. If this is how you've reacted in response to trauma, something that I would recommend doing is taking some time to yourself and kind of establishing what boundaries you have, what boundaries you feel you need, and also learning to move forward in life depending on yourself. So it's like the opposite of my experiences, but ultimately there's just going to be a lot of differences in how you want to change your life. But if you feel your life is cold or emotionally disconnected or emotionally empty, then I feel you're walking the same path that I am, and I recommend just trying to really take a step back, find some solitude, and really figure out what in your life is making you feel cold. Is it your own habits? Is it the people around you that are treating you poorly? And if it is, I feel for you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. I feel for you, and I want to let you know that you're not alone. And if you are on this path and you want some advice or you want a virtual hug or something, feel free to reach out. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, here on YouTube as well. And again, I thank you for watching this video, and I really hope that you found something in it that would help you. And I hope that you have a really good night or day whenever you're watching this. And I wish you all the best. Thank you.